Hello and welcome to another Wrestle Carnival preview show, and this time we're going to be talking about Wrestle Carnival Ringmasters taking place on Sunday the 10th of July from the HMV Empire in Coventry. So a new location for Wrestle Carnival, and I am joined as always by Andrew from the Tea and Tights podcast. Andrew, thanks for joining me again. How are you doing?
Always love being here for these Wrestle Carnival preview shows. It looks set for another stellar outing. So many great matches to talk about. So many great wrestling that's been happening lately, and it's be fun to talk about it all with you.
Absolutely. But like I say, a new venue. We're outside of Nottingham for a change, and what a fantastic location they've got. Just bring up some pictures here of the HMV Empire in Coventry. A fantastic location, a great venue for live music. And next Sunday, the 10th of July, is going to be a fantastic venue for this Wrestle Carnival Ringmasters. And just looking at the poster there, it kind of whets your appetite. A fantastic array of British and international talent. But Andrew, that's going to be, we're going to get into the matches and preview the matches and the talent very, very soon. But just looking at that poster and knowing what's ahead, there's some mouth-watering matches, isn't there?
Absolutely. And as you just mentioned, the HMV Empire in Coventry, what a fantastic setting for this great card, this first time outing for Wrestle Carnival outside of Nottingham into the Midlands. There's so much great talent, and a lot of that is being displayed just as it does when they're in Nottingham, and they have all that fantastic Nottingham talent as well.
Absolutely. And with this, I think it's going to be a 9-match card. There's many debuts that we're going to be talking about. So some international talent that's going to be coming over and gracing our shores and gracing the Wrestle Carnival ring. And some local talent to Coventry that I'm sure will be bringing their kind of home-based fans along with them. So lots to talk about here. And Wrestle Carnival, of course, they're not just a local promotion. They bring talent from all over the UK and international, as we've already established with many of these before, Andrew. So you know you're going to get a fantastic card. You know you're going to get some amazing talent, and from top to bottom, a fantastic card of wrestling action, and plenty of championship matches to talk about as well. But let's talk about the first match that's quite exciting. Lucia Lee, Coventry native, been on the circuit for a few years now, still very, very young, but like I say, she is involved in a Carnival prospect match against the Ava. I think most people might know Ava as Ava White, but another prospect, another fantastic female performer on the UK scene that's doing some fantastic stuff, wrestling for promotions up and down the country, such as Rev Pro, Pro Wrestling Eve, many more. And both of these individuals, Lucia Lee and the Ava, making their Wrestle Carnival debut in just a few days' time, Sunday, the 10th of July, from HMV Empire in Coventry. This is going to be a fantastic match. It's billed as a Carnival prospect match, but I reckon that the winner of this match could go on to bigger and better things with Wrestle Carnival. What do you think about this one, Andrew?
Yeah, as you mentioned, two young ladies who are in the very early stages of their career, I believe 2 to 3 years maybe for each of them. Lucia Lee is a hard-hitting bruiser of a girl. She is a member of the BDK faction, now part of the West Midlands, been very dominant over in the West Midlands. Ava, very athletic. I think she has a former dancer's background. She is very tall, and as you say, she has been debuting with companies like Pro Wrestling Eve, UKPW, and many more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I've even seen her perform for TNT Extreme up in Liverpool. So she's one of these talents that's kind of traveling the country, doing some amazing stuff. But Lucia Lee has impressed the hell out of me. I've seen a few matches of hers for Southwest Wrestling, and both of these individuals are the real deal. So there's no surprise that they're going to be involved in this prospect match for Wrestle Carnival on Sunday, the 10th of July. And that's going to be an incredible match. And I think one thing that Wrestle Carnival has always excelled in from the very beginning, from its very first show, is showcasing the very best female wrestling talents from the UK and from around the world in some cases. And this is no different. Like I say, two of the best up-and-coming female stars from the UK making their debut for Wrestle Carnival and basically kind of making their marks, making their stamp on the Wrestle Carnival female roster to say, yeah, I'm all out to win this match, and I want to be recognised as a contender down the line. And like I say, whoever comes out of Ringmasters at the end on Sunday, the 10th of July, as the Queen of the Carnival, might need to be watching over their shoulders for one of these two for sure.
Oh, certainly. As you say, prospects is exactly what they are, and they are future stars.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of future stars, we've got a certain Leon Slater making his Wrestle Carnival debut, and Robbie X making his Wrestle Carnival debut. And Robbie X, I always like to call him the youngest veteran on the UK scene because he has been around for quite a few years. He's wrestled for just about every promotion in the UK and doing fantastic things. But Leon Slater has been on the scene himself for, I think, about 9 years. Since he was about 9 or 10. I interviewed Leon Slater on the podcast a little while ago, and I think he was about 9 or 10 when he first stepped into a wrestling ring. Robbie X once again made his debut when he was about 12 years old. So these two have been on the circuit, believe it or not, for many, many years. But Leon Slater and Robbie X are going to put on an exhibition of high-flying acrobatics, dynamic, fast-paced action, like the crowd at the HMV Empire have probably never seen before. This is going to be a barn burner of a match, and quite possibly could steal the show. These two are going to put on a display, and I've got to say it, put my heart on the line. This is the match I'm possibly looking forward to the most.
Yeah, I got to admit, this is a very tantalizing match. Leon Slater, the 17-year-old young sensation who has this year literally brought British wrestling up just another level. Breathtaking performances of Progress Wrestling, British Wrestling Revolution, North Wrestling, NCL, where he literally tore the roof down. I recently compared him to a young Will Ospreay on a very recent episode of the Teen Titans podcast. He is just that damn good, so athletic, and just a little bit of charisma that just seeping through. He's been taken under the wing by man like the Reese, Dan Maloney, Jody Fleisch.
Yeah,
he's got the best people around him. He is going to be amazing one day. Robbie X is amazing all right now, and he is on the run of his life. I don't think he has ever been better than he is right now. He's in better shape than he's ever been. He's putting in a better matches than he's ever been. He's become a major player for some of the biggest promotions. He's held cruiserweight titles across the UK and just recently became a heavyweight champion, although he did recently lose it as well, but he has been a heavyweight champion now as well. He is, the UK's, he used to be the UK's best kept secret, but there's no secret anymore.
No, absolutely. And when I spoke to, I've had Robbie and Leon on my podcast this year, and they've both said that 2022 has been a bit of a rebirth, certainly for Robbie. He's been on the form of his life in 2022. Leon has been branching out all over the country in 2022, and I saw him at a recent Progress show against RKJ, and that was a phenomenal match, a wonderful match between those two. And like I say, Leon really made his mark on the Progress audience there. These two in the ring at the same time and battling one another with what we know they can put on, it's going to be fantastic, and that's worth the price of admission alone. And just running along the bottom, the ticker is all the information you need to know. If you're interested in coming down to the HMV Empire in Coventry, all you got to do is follow the web link at the bottom there, thewrestlecarnival.com/events, thewrestlecarnival.com/events. That will get you there, and you can get your tickets for Sunday the 10th at the HMV Empire. But any final words on Robbie versus Leon? I think that dare I say it, could be show stealer, Andrew.
Fire, dynamite, electric, any cinnamon you want to use for it, it's just going to be amazing.
100%. And this is the most recent match to have been announced just a few days ago, a Carnival Scramble match. You've got George Lydon and Jim DieHard, two Coventry natives local to the area, of course, against Wrestle Carnival regulars, Big Guns Joe and versus Tommy Cole. So this is a four-way scramble match. And of course, you got Jim DieHard and George Lydon, as I said, a hometown Coventry boy. boys making their Wrestle Carnival debut. Big Guns Joe, we know very, very well, very familiar with the Wrestle Carnival audience, as is Tommy Kyle. The last time we saw him was at the Hunt versus Man Like DeReese. But these four individuals are going to put on a hell of a display. I've got to be honest with you, I'm fairly new to George Lydon. You might be able to fill me in. Jim Diehard, I know reasonably well. Big Guns Joe and Tommy Kyle, no stranger to the Wrestle Carnival audience. But I think Jim Diehard is certainly one to keep an eye on here, because he is the bigger competitor of the four, easily 300 pounds, a big guy. And he's going to add that kind of strength and power gain to the dynamic to the match.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Big Jim Diehard there. He is the veteran of this match. I mean, put together George Lydon, Tommy Kyle, and Big Gun Joe history in wrestling, and they still haven't been as long as Big Jim Diehard. He is a thoroughbred of, 20 years of wrestling, and he's somebody right now who's actually on the best run of his career, is making more promotions every time he makes an outing. He seems to have a new booking come along from a new promotion, and he just looks like an absolute beast, and he is.
A runaway train, yeah.
You've got George Lydon. He is the youngest member of this match, if I'm
17,
right.
I think.
17 years old.
Yeah.
He is a graduate of the Kamikaze Wrestling Academy, and it's been part of their Kamikaze Live Pro shows. It's almost like their academy show, although he recently made his full Kamikaze debut, and I think it might have been against Mr. Ridgway.
Well, in my research, George Lydon is the current Kamikaze Pro Live champion. And of course, that's their academy champion. So he's on to some great things already. And usually their Kamikaze Pro Live champions go on to bigger and better things. But no better way to start your Wrestle Carnival career than in a match with Jim Diehard, Big Guns Joe, and Tommy Kyle. And I know we've spoken about Big Guns Joe and Tommy Kyle before, but Big Guns Joe, he's had a fantastic year. He was the first challenger to Charles Crowley's championship when they did the 16 Carats tour of Germany back in March, I think it was. And Tommy Kyle, another wrestler that's having a fantastic year. Very, very innovative and exciting to watch. Once again, 2022 has been a great year for those two.
The top gun of British wrestling, Tommy Kyle, a fantastic bloke, a fantastic wrestler. Seriously, a very genuine, great guy. I've spoken to him on quite a few different occasions now. I've managed to have a chance to speak with him. We've had him on our show. And yeah, he has been breaking out of the southeast area, or east of England area, south-ish. And if you look across anyone mentioning who I want in my Natural Progression series this year, Tommy, he is on everyone's list. And Big Guns Joe, well, he is just a legend already at Wrestle Carnival. The henchest man in British wrestling. He always stands a chance in every match.
That's going to be a fantastic match. I'm definitely looking forward to that one for sure. How about this one then? Becca, coming over to the UK, we understand making her UK debut, or certainly her Wrestle Carnival debut, going up against Lana Austin, who is having the streak of her career. She's really, really having an amazing time, whether it be outside the ring as a manager, inside the ring as one of the best heels in the business at the moment, full stop, capital letters underlined. She is on fire at the moment. This is going to be a great match. And for those that might not be aware, there's an added stipulation to this, and that is that if Lana Austin manages to defeat Becca in this match, Lana will be added to the Queen of the Carnival Championship match, which will be happening later on, which we'll talk about very, very soon. But I don't know too much about Becca. You might be able to fill me in. Lana Austin is kind of having a real hot streak around the UK at the moment, one of the best heels in the business. So what do you think about this one?
Well, Becca is a very young performer. As you mentioned, she is a US independent standout right now. She's really been making her name with Limitless Wrestling and Beyond Wrestling. Now, she did make her UK debut, I think it was earlier this year, but got injured and had to return back to the United States, was unable to continue her tour. So I know she'll be desperate to make a stamp. And who better to make that stamp against than one of the British wrestling's
Wow.
best veterans of the women wrestling scene? As you say, what an opportunity to possibly be in the interim title matchup as well. And Lana, wow, her social media game for one. Just if you're not following Lana Austin, you're missing out.
Yeah, is there anybody as hot as Lana Austin in the business at the moment, with how she's just taken her heel persona from strength to strength this year? And like I say, whether she's outside the ring, managing inside the ring as one of the hottest heels in the business at the moment, she's on a streak at the moment, isn't she?
She certainly is, and as you say, just go check her out right now. WWE Network, she's all over the place.
Yeah, 100%. Looking forward to seeing that one, and looking forward to sampling Becca for the first time. That's going to be a very, very exciting match. And like I say, with that added stipulation that if Lana manages to win, she does go on to be that third opponent or third competitor in the Queen of the Carnival Championship match a bit later on. And then we've got this one here. If there's another match alone that's worth the price of admission, Andrew, it has to be this one here. Man like Doris, who is, like I say, one of the best and well-known, most well-loved, the lyrical dragon, of course, around the UK, against former Impact World Champion, former Impact Tag Team Champion, a former NXT Tag Team Champion, Eric Young. This is going to be a tremendous match. And I've been reliably informed that if man like Doris manages to win his match on Sunday from the HMV Empire, that he will become the new #1 contender to the Wrestle Carnival Championship. So lots at stake here, but this is going to be a tremendous match. Come on.
Indeed. I mean, man like Doris is on fire. And if you don't believe me, listen to the crowd when he's in the ring. They'll tell you man like Doris is on fire. And yeah, a hybrid athlete, power, speed, athleticism. I mean, he hits one of the best 450s in UK wrestling. His power game is just as good as probably Dan Maloney's. It's very underrated for his strength and conditioning, and that's going to pay dividends against the 3-time TNA world champion, the Grand Slam TNA champion. I mean, he has literally won everything there is to do when it comes to Impact Wrestling. Eric Young is an absolute legend. You know, underrated NXT run, maybe his main roster, but still, when it came to Impact TNA, he is the gold standard of what it is to be one of their true homegrown talents.
Absolutely. One of the best independent performers in the entire world. He's going to be gracing our shores. He's going to be gracing the Wrestle Carnival ring on Sunday, the 10th of July. And like I say, going up against... if there's anybody that can really match EY in a match over here in the UK, it can really only be a man like Doris, like you say, a hybrid athlete. Some of the moves that he does, and the power that the guy has as well, can match pretty much anybody up and down the card, anybody up and down the country. So these two are going to put on a clinic on Sunday. Really, really excited. I think you've got a bit of a contrast in styles as well, which will add to the excitement. But I think the fans at the HMV Empire are in for a treat for that one, with that one for sure, and definitely one that I'm looking forward to. But let's move on to the next match, and it's going to be the introduction of this bout here, the Wrestle Carnival Pure Championship bout. And of course, it indicates the very first match to crown the very first champion, Wrestle Carnival Pure Championship match between Chris Ridgway, who's having one of the years of his life, if not the year of his life, against EMERSYN JAYNE. And of course, Ridgway just coming off the back of becoming the Progress World Champion. He's one half of the current GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions over in Noah. So Chris is looking to, have a third bout over his shoulder when all said and done on Sunday, the 10th of July. But EMERSYN JAYNE, one of the veterans of the UK women's scene, who's having a resurgence this year, has had some great outings for Wrestle Carnival so far, has got a lot of accolades of her own, and looking to add one more, being the first Wrestle Carnival Pure Champion when all said and done, against Chris Ridgway on Sunday the 10th. But wow, this match is going to be electric, isn't it? It's going to be fantastic. And remember, pure rules as well.
I know. I love pure wrestling. I love pure rules wrestling. I love rules in wrestling, full
Yeah.
stop, but I really love pure wrestling rules. And I think this is just one of the best things to bring over here to the UK, where wrestling is purer than any other country. I'm
100%.
sorry, it just is. We have the best technical wrestlers in the world, one of them being Zack Sabre Jr., the other one being Chris Ridgway. I mean, we rave about Chris Ridgway on our show, but I honestly believe him to be only seconded to Zack Sabre Jr. in technical wrestling. He is better than anyone else you would like to mention. I'm sorry, it's true. Chris Ridgway is a phenomenal competitor, and you think he is a trainer over at Future Shock Academy for a reason. He is the leader of Northwest Strong for a reason. He mentors the best wrestlers in the UK. But EMERSYN JAYNE, if there's anyone that can possibly match him, it is EMERSYN. She is a phenomenally skilled grappler. Her submission game, her roll-up games are two of the best that you will see in wrestling. She is classically trained in that pure British style. She is the perfect opponent for this British version of a pure championship.
Absolutely. And let's have one more glimpse of the title bout there, because like all of the Wrestle Carnival Championship bouts, it is absolutely beautiful there, emblazoned in the red writing there, Wrestle Carnival Pure Champion. And like I say, these are the two outstanding individuals. We are going to be spoilt rotten on Sunday, the 10th of July from the HMV Empire with the individuals, with the talent and the matches we've already spoken about. And that one there is going to blow the roof off. And like I say, if you love your technical wrestling and if you love your rules, your pure rules like Andrew does, then that one will not disappoint you. A fantastic match that we have to look forward to there. And then we have this one here. Jetta versus Charlie Morgan. Now, this is going to be to crown an interim Queen of the Carnival champion. And Jetta versus Charlie Morgan, it's going to be a fantastic match. Not the first time that these two are faced in a Wrestle Carnival ring. Now, if I remember rightly, at Wrestle Carnival Pure last October, they faced one another in a one-on-one encounter. Charlie Morgan went over in that match. And of course, they were involved in the Queen of the Carnival Gauntlet match in January to crown the first ever Queen of the Carnival. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Charlie Morgan that eliminated Jetta from that match. So these two have got a bit of a story going now, and a little bit of a feud that's led to this match. And of course, with Alex Windsor being the current Queen of the Carnival, over in Japan, she can't defend her title at this show. This match between Charlie Morgan and Jetta is for the interim Queen of the Carnival Championship, and I'm sure that there will be an undisputed championship match between the winner of this and Alex Windsor at a future show. But we've seen these two in the Wrestle Carnival ring a couple of times before, Andrew. They've always put on a fantastic display. This one, the stakes are that much higher. Give us your thoughts on this one.
Indeed, with Alex Windsor over in Japan competing for that International Princess Championship with Tokyo Joshi Pro against Maki Ito, it is a perfect opportunity for these two incredible veterans of the British wrestling scene to stake a claim into that being that interim champion and demanding to face Alex Windsor one-on-one at an upcoming show. And as you say, there's history now. Charlie Morgan did win. She did eliminate Jetta, and Jetta was not happy about being eliminated. In fact, she then cost Charlie Morgan to be eliminated. So I think it's only just going to get more heated now that there's a championship opportunity once again on the line.
Absolutely, absolutely. The stakes are higher, but there's that thread that kind of takes us all the way back to last October, and then, of course, to the Carnival of Champions in January, and now to this match here where the title is on the line. We will see a new Queen of the Carnival crowned on Sunday the 10th from the HMV Empire in Coventry. And then we've got the Wrestle Carnival Championship match. Mr. Charles Crowley, the spectacular one, current champion, going up against Scott Garland, formerly known as Scotty 2 Hotty, of course. This is going to be a tremendous match. You've got Charles Crowley, probably the best performer on the UK scene at the moment, against one of the most in demand and one of the hottest independent wrestlers in the world at the moment. Been over to the UK a couple of times over recent months, and now he's making his Wrestle Carnival debut. And what a debut it's going to be, Andrew, in a championship match against the champion, Charles Crowley, in what can only be maybe a bit of a dream match to many. Certainly it's a dream match to me. But give us your thoughts. And you've obviously got Charles Crowley with all of his antics against Scott Garland and the most devastating finishing move in all of pro wrestling, the worm, of course.
I'm pretty sure that's the roll-up.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, yes. Right. Well, it's one of the other. But
I believe this is going to be a fantastic match. I mean, Charles Crowley now on his third defense. He's got those big wins now over Big Guns Joe over in Germany. Huge win over Max the Impaler last time out at the Hunt. And, you know, you mentioned it as a dream match, but it is also Charles Crowley's dream match. He asked for this. He specifically requested to have this match, despite already having a match in line with AXEL TISCHER, which I know we're going to talk about just shortly. So, you know, is it smart thinking? Is it the best play? Who knows? But Charles Crowley, under pressure, thriving on chaos, that's what he does best. And I'm sure he's got an answer for the worm somewhere in his deep, big bag of tricks.
Yeah, there might be a few balloons brought from the backstage area. But yes, he's got some antics tucked up his sleeve, I'm sure. But that will be a fantastically entertaining match for sure. And as you alluded to, the winner of, let's just bring up that graphic one more time, the winner of this championship match, it doesn't end there for them, because the winner of Charles Crowley versus Scott Garland will go on to face AXEL TISCHER. The hunt continues, and of course AXEL has been waiting in the wings now for quite a while, and he will be facing either Charles Crowley or SCOTTY 2 HOTTY, Scott Garland, in what I'm presuming will be the final match of the night, and it'll be the second match for one of those two competitors that we've just mentioned. But there can't really be any more formidable opponent than AXEL waiting in the wings after this match, a fresh AXEL at that.
Yeah, I'm sure TISCHER was watching back in Germany during that showcase when Charles Crowley did beat Big Guns Joe, and I'm sure he probably didn't make too much of the antics. He obviously AXEL TISCHER is a very straight-laced boot type of wearing wrestler. He hasn't got time for fun and games, so this will be an interesting matchup if Crowley can get past Scott Garland. But of course, if it's Scott Garland versus AXEL TISCHER, I expect that to be really heavy and hard hitting.
But we've spoken about 9 matches there, Andrew, that's going to take place at the HMV Empire in Coventry in just a few days' time, Sunday the 10th of July. It's once again, we say this every single time, but Wrestle Carnival has they've delivered what only looks like a fantastic card on paper, and I'm sure it will deliver in the ring. Give us your overall thoughts and any matches in particular that you're looking forward to the most.
Great veteran talent, young, exciting talent, local talent once again. Wrestle Carnival do try to sort of like tick every box they can on the card. Now, if there's 2 matches, then it has to be either the pure championship, because as I mentioned, I do love pure wrestling, but I'm also a big fan of flippy stuff. And Leon SLATER and ROBBIE X is going to have a lot of flips. So it really is a toss-up between either of those 2 matches, but they're going to be, for me, match of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll echo your sentiments there, but I think I can't wait to see Man Like Dries versus Eric Young. I think that's going to be a masterclass. Like I say, you've got one of the brightest, young, and biggest names on the UK scene at the moment in Man Like Dries against a veteran in Eric Young. That's going to be a terrific match to look forward to there. And I've got to say, the women's championship match, JETTA versus Charlie Morgan, I think we're in for a treat there. And like I say, with the added stake of the winner becoming the interim queen of the carnival for Wrestle Carnival, that is until Alex Windsor comes back and we have that ultimate showdown But Andrew, it's been a pleasure speaking to you once again, previewing the next Wrestle Carnival show. And that's taking place once again from the HMV Empire, Sunday, the 10th of July. The details are running along the bottom of the screen for tickets. If you're tempted, if you're enticed, if you're kind of thinking, you live in the area, thinking that you might want to drop down and see what the fuss is all about, there are still tickets available at thewrestlecarnival.com/events. That will take you straight through to the ticket page, but you will not be disappointed if you choose to spend your money on this event, Ringmasters. But Andrew, it's been awesome speaking to you, and I'm going to give you an opportunity, as we always do, to plug your fantastic podcast, Tea and Tights, where we can find it, and like I say, anything you urge us to check out from your collection of fantastic shows.
Thank you so much. Of course, we are the Great British Wrestling Podcast for Great British Wrestling. We do the weekly Great British Wrestling Roundup, where we look at every promotion across the UK, even in Ireland. And we've also got the quick Euro Roundup as well at the end of each episode. So keeping an eye on everything going on in WXW Germany, Body Slam, Italy, Denmark, wherever you want to look, we're looking out for you. Of course, you can find us on the incredible John's Network, podcasting network, as part of our Spotify, which you can now get our video. You can also catch us on the bodyslam.net YouTube channel. I also do contribute for bodyslam.net with British wrestling articles as much as I can every now and then, more on the preview side than the news side these days, but always good to check out. So bodyslam.net and the John's Podcasting Network, that is where you'll find Tea and Tights, a Great British Wrestling podcast.
Absolutely. One of the best wrestling podcasts you're likely to find out there. I definitely urge you to check it out. And for myself, I am the host of Wrestling with Johners, and we are celebrating our 250th episode this week. And our fantastic guest, Casey, the mother of Chaos, will be my special guest, my special live interview guest on Tuesday for the 250th episode. So please go and check it out. Wherever you find your podcast, including YouTube, just search Wrestling with Johners or go to wrestlingwithjohners.com, where you'll find my podcast, Wrestling with Johners, and all the other fantastic content. Over 50 channels with fantastic content creators, podcast and YouTube content from all over the world, including Andrew and Dan from the Tea and Tights podcast, dropping their episodes every single week. So hopefully we'll see you over there. But join in on the conversation. What did you think of our predictions? What did you think of our preview and the matches that are going to be on offer at Ringmasters, Wrestle Carnival's next show from the HMV Empire on Coventry? Drop down in the comments who you think might win the matches, who you're looking forward to seeing, and what you think some of them outcomes might be. There's definitely some intriguing matches there for sure, with some fantastic stipulations that will carry us through the entire afternoon next Sunday, the 10th of July, from the HMV Empire. But for myself, Johners and Andrew, thank you very much for joining us once again, my friends.